YouTube, what it do, man? You know the motto. If you can, go over there, hit me with a like, which is the thumbs up, and that'll let me know I'm sending my stuff. It's right here. The young homeboy said, he didn't heard about 9500. Did I get an experience with 9500 myself personally? Yeah, I got a chance to experience 9500 personally, man. You know what I'm saying? And I got a chance to you know, have a few homeboys at that time, you know, got a chance to experience it, uh, but which was new that we all got a chance to, experience it together. A few homies go to jail together. And this particular time, me, a homie the homeboy Big 211 PIP, one of my young homeboys BT, and another one of my young homeboys Black Scrap. We wind up joyriding and getting caught up in the high-speed chase, you know what I'm saying, back in the days and shit. And in the 90s, like, late 90s or something. And Big 211 wind up getting into it with, I guess, somebody in the IVCs or something like that. So whatever him and the person was having phone tag confrontations with, we wind up slipping through the IVCs over there on Imperio. You know what I'm saying? He didn't see who he was looking for or the altercation he was waiting to encounter. So we wind up slipping up out of there and coming back up Crenshaw. You know what I'm saying? So now in the route of Crenshaw, we passing through up Crenshaw, passing past the Crenshaw Mafias, about to cross over, going into the families, and then all of a sudden, undercover police wind up jumping on us. So the chase began. So we cutting all out. We all through LA and Crenshaw, cutting, hitting different streets. So we wind up getting gaffled, after, jumping out of cars and running through people's yards and all that shit. We wind up getting gaffled. So within getting gaffled led us all to 9500, you know what I'm saying? Black Scrap, he didn't, he was able to do his thing. He didn't get caught up involved in nothing. But everybody else, all of us hit 9500 together. And it was just, it was an exciting moment, because, we was all together, a few homeboys, was able to have some laughter and all push the turf together and ride together. And at that time, like I said, I went in, I had on burgundy chucks, so it was like I felt kind of like celebrity ties and shit, because a lot of dudes was looking like, damn, that little nigga got on some burgundy chucks. Them niggas, that little nigga was out there hanging out and shit. And also, it was a hell of an experience then, because we was walking the chow, so you'll get the chance to walk through there and go into a big old chow room, homie, a big old hall, mess hall, food hall and shit. So that was a hell of an experience. And niggas was there with crazy braids banged out. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And 9500 was like a big old holding tank, homie. You gonna be there for like tops maybe 3.5 days, 3 days and shit. And it was kind of sectioned off from what I recall. You would catch them, however people was able to get them beds where certain hoods and certain people can, be gravitated to essays, and the homies are kept. We have us a little slot where it be a few homies that then got some beds and shit. And that's how it was, you know what I'm saying? It might be some jacking, some rat packing and shit like that. But that's what went on in 9500. And I did another thing called hoop and keystring, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of dudes that come from the streets and turning themselves in and coming from courts. So a lot of contraband that enter 9500 and dudes that twist from there. And when we get to these floors, we'll open up different outlets. We'll take contraband to these different floors. Or rather, if you have to get to these floors and buy you a knife to survive, because your hood might not be deep up there. You might have a gang of enemies, or you just moving contraband and put your turf on a certain type of level or pedestal up in there. or just supporting your car, whether if you with that blood car, the rip car, SA car. So a lot of functioning was moving through 9500. So when people land to these other floors, these 2,000, 3,000 floors, niggas is set up shop and shit like that. But that's just, and like I said, once you be there, your homies might leave one day, the next day. So you might wind up being in 9500 for a minute, another day or so by yourself until you get to a floor. You wasn't necessarily finna go with where your homeboys was going and shit from 9500. So, like I said, I had them burgundy chucks on at that time, young, ponytailed out. So I had a couple Crips that kind of like took to me. I know it was, I remember one cat, he was like a lefty from Harlem. I want to say another dude, maybe gangster or something out the A7 gangster area, that area. So I had a couple Crips on me that, kind of like, snatched me up under their wing and make sure I was able to kind of move through that county jail kind of safe, or if I had to get on, it was fair and things of that nature. So that's my 9500 experience rundown, man, and I'm just, sending G shit and not Ye shit, and just sending experience for my era, homie, just serving history, dog. I'm out.